Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a big bunch of DC updates for you today. The biggest news, really, it's about Green Lantern, the HBO Max series, officially announced. Also, all you need to know about Superman and Lois, the Flash CW started filming Theatrical Suicides. Apparently is different from the original script. And of course, Joe Manganiello talks about Zack Snyder's Justice League. But before all that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to Felix Becker for joining the Ping Pong Flix Show family, along with all the guys and girls of the Ping Pong Flix Show. You guys and girls are literally the lifeline of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you all to the members today that have joined. And really, there's only 30 more members to go until we get to that 100-member random prize drawing. So I can't wait to do that and be able to give back to you all the DC content merchandise I have ready to go, including to all 15,000 subscribers, hopefully pretty soon. There's 600 subscribers more to go to get to that 15,000 subscriber mark, and then we'll have a random prize drawing for you guys as well. But thank you so much for pretty much my commitment to giving you a daily dose of DC content every single day. All right, on to the news. First one up, this is really more of a shout out. I want to tell you where to go for all you need to know about Superman and Lois. Daily Planet, DC.com, put this out today, and really, this is a great little gazette, if you will, an actual page that looks like it really came from the Daily Planet, dailyplanetdc.com. They put this whole thing together that's written up by Lois Lane and Clark Kent, and it's such a cool looking site. And all the different articles that come up on this site, including the home page, it really looks like something out from the Daily Planet. And so I really suggest, if you love Superman and news about Superman, Smallville, Superman and Lois, Supergirl, I believe as well, and plus anything that comes out, essentially anything in the news, it will be looking like you're reading off the Daily Planet newspaper. So I encourage you to check this out. It's an incredible website, and they've done a fantastic job on this website indeed. Now, the next topic is about The Flash. Looks like The Flash CW started filming season 7 today. This is coming from Canada Graphs, at Canada Graphs. The Flash officially starts their 7th season of filming today, October 9th, after a small delay because of a backlog on COVID tests. So it looks like as of today that The Flash will still premiere in January of 2021, along with Superman and Lois and some other shows as well. So I think that still will happen. There has been no delay. I don't think that this particular delay, I think it was only like a week or even 2 weeks from the COVID test, would actually affect the production. And so that's great news for the CW fans out there. I think we'll still get our CW shows in January 2021. Now, quite possibly the biggest news for today, and maybe even this week, is that Green Lantern, the HBO Max series, has officially been announced. Now, we kind of knew about this Green Lantern HBO Max series. There was talk about Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns heading that. This was coming off of Green Lantern Corps, the movie that was supposed to come out, but that kind of, disappeared, although it's still on the Mad Ghost Productions under Jeff Johns. But now there has been an official announcement. Quite a slew of people reacting, including Jason Kilar from HBO Max. He says, so many ambitious, compelling stories to tell in the DC Comics universe. Excited for Green Lantern and all that is to come. Also, Ray Fisher even had something to say. Seth Graham-Smith is an awesome dude, though, through and through. We've connected in a big way during his time on the Flash film. He's got a big heart, and I know he's going to slay Green Lantern. There is no better commander for the Corps. Well-deserved Seth Graham. And as you know, Seth Graham is the person heading the Green Lantern series along with Greg Berlanti. In brightest day and blackest night, no Green Lantern news shall escape my sight. Hour-long episodes, multiple lanterns, and a story spanning decades and galaxies. Get hyped! And hyped I am! that we haven't seen a Green Lantern since 2011 Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. So we're finally getting to see this. And what's even more exciting is the characters that are going to be in here. It's not just Hal Jordan, or it's not even Hal Jordan at all. There's no Jon Stewart, there's no Kyle Rayner, but there is a ton of Green Lanterns in this so far. This is who they're going to have. So Variety put out this article, and all the trades put out the article. It's such a big thing, but I'm going to read to you what it said on the DC Comics site itself, because that's the official press release. HBO Max's Green Lantern series is starting to take shape, and we're getting awfully excited to head to the stars and take the oath. It was revealed today that Green Lantern, which was first announced last year, has been given an official series order for 10 one-hour episodes, and while details on what exactly will be taking place over that debut season are unknown, we have discovered a few of the Lanterns will be meeting. According to the show's logline, Green Lantern will include longtime ring slingers like Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Sinestro, Kilowog, and Alan Scott. That last Lantern is noteworthy because, as fans know, Scott's backstory isn't the same as the other Green Lanterns, and he's not known as a space-based superhero. However, the logline does confirm that, like in recent comics, Scott will be a gay character. This is the logline that's been distributed to all the different trades. From DC and HBO Max and Berlanti Productions comes a bold adaptation of the iconic comic book franchise, a saga spanning decades and galaxies. Green Lantern will depict the adventures of a multitude of lanterns, including Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and Alan Scott, Earth's first Green Lantern who, true to the comics, is a gay man, and many more. The series will also include fan favorites such as Sinestro and Kilowog, as well as introduce new heroes to the ranks of the Green Lantern Corps. And of course, that's the official picture that they put out. Green Lantern comes from executive producers and writers Seth Grahame-Smith, who will serve as showrunner, and Mark Guggenheim, along with executive producers Greg Berlanti, Jeff Johns, Sarah Schechter, and David Madden. Many of these names will be familiar to DC TV fans, as Berlanti has overseen most of DC's film's recent small screen offerings, including the CW's beloved Arrowverse, as well as recent streaming hits Titans, Stargirl, and Doom Patrol. Guggenheim and Schechter have both played key roles in many of those shows, including Arrow, DC Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and Batwoman, among others. Guggenheim also co-wrote the 2011 Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie along with Berlanti, Michael Green, and Michael Goldenberg. Grahame-Smith may not be as familiar of a name to DC fans, but Green Lantern isn't the first DC project in which he's been involved. Grahame-Smith co-wrote the screenplay to 2017's Lego Batman movie, along with 2012's Dark Shadows, directed by Tim Burton. Prior to that, he gained some notoriety in geek circles with his novels Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, and Unholy Knight. Green Lantern is the latest high-profile DC TV series to be developed for HBO Max, coming on the heels of the announcement of Peacemaker, a James Gunn-written spin-off set in the universe of his 2021 movie, The Suicide Squad, as well as untitled Gotham City Police Department series from Matt Reeves and Boardwalk Empire's Terrence Winter, set in the universe of Reeves' upcoming The Batman. All three shows will live on HBO Max alongside prior DC Universe shows like Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, and Titans, and previously aired network shows like Batwoman. Okay, DC fan, now it's your turn to go green. What do you think about this announcement? Are you ready to see characters like Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and Alan Scott brought to live action life for the first time? And do you think we'll be seeing Sinestro as a member of the Green Lantern Corps or leading the Yellow Lanterns? Share your thoughts and speculation on social media, and keep an eye here on DC Comics Movies, comics.com for more on HBO Max's Green Lantern as it develops. Now, it's interesting they said that. Like, they know where it's going to go, but they, it's great to have that social media interaction, and they want to know what you want in this series. And so, that's fantastic. We have not really seen these characters. in HBO Max, right? That's awesome. And particularly interesting is Jessica Cruz to be in there. I think when I talk about Green Lantern, that is one character that they really wanted to be in the Green Lantern, and they're finally going to do it. They're finally going to put Jessica Cruz in the Green Lantern Corps in her own series, right? And Guy Gardner as well. A lot of people are asking, well, there's three particular Green Lanterns that are missing from this cast, right? This cast of characters. The first one, of course, we all know and well, Hal Jordan. The second one we all know and well, John Stewart. And also a recent fan favorite is Kyle Rayner. All three of these lanterns are not named in either the press release or even the trades. And I found that fascinating. And for me, in my mind, I'm thinking that's because they want to reserve those characters for another project, possibly things that would tie into the Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern HBO Max series. Now, it could be that the movie Green Lantern Corps is still being developed by, Jeff Johns. He's also named here as an executive producer. Whether that means that he has creative input or not, usually executive producers are just credited because they've worked on the project or they're associated with the project at one point. And that's something that's always happened in Hollywood. But other than that, there may still be a Green Lantern Corps movie that they want to utilize Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and or Kyle Rayner. There's also the issue of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is also coming on HBO Max. And that could possibly have two or three lanterns, or even one lantern. I would imagine that if that's the way they want to go, and they could introduce Hal Jordan and John Stewart in the HBO Max series, including maybe even Kyle Rayner as well for Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? Or they may split it up. Maybe Hal Jordan, John Stewart, or just John Stewart's in the Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then there's going to be a theatrical one at Warner Brothers that's a Green Lantern Corps that could have either Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, or John Stewart. Mix it around, right? And so they're reserving it. To me, this means they're reserving those three main characters for either that. They don't want to have too much of Hal Jordan in one series and having it in this another series on HBO Max or having it in theaters, which is very familiar. I mean, Warner Brothers does that. They do that a lot. If a certain character shows up in one medium, they don't want that character showing up in another medium, which is weird because that just goes against the whole multiverse thing, right? I mean, Ezra Miller was Flash. Grant Gustin was Flash. They did that already. Why not? So there must be a specific plan they have utilizing for Hal Jordan and John Stewart to not be in this, or at least not introduced in this possible first 10 episodes of the Green Lantern. Or maybe there'll be, cameoed in. Or they could just, Greg Berlanti could just say, I want to focus on these Green Lanterns. I think we always talk about Hal Jordan. We always talk about John Stewart, even though we haven't really seen a live action John Stewart. We haven't really seen a live action Kyle Rayner. We haven't seen a live action Hal Jordan, but they wants to make sure that these are represented in this Green Lantern HBO Max series. And which is cool because I would love to see this interpretation. I would love to see it expanded. Now, the great thing about 2011's Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern was that we got to see a bit of the Green Lantern Corps. We got to see a bit of Oa. Probably the best parts in the Green Lantern movie. I wanted to see more of that. So I'm glad, and hopefully that this does take place more on Oa, more in the galactic. They're going straight into space. They're doing a lot of green screen things, of course, more blue screen things because they're all green. But a lot of that in space, galactic stories. Don't set it too much on Earth. Maybe, introduce them on Earth, maybe, but go out there, just go galactic, go cosmic, and do things that is beyond Earth at this point. And so that gets me the most excited for this Green Lantern series, exploring that other universes, exploring other worlds, other galaxies, and having them take missions over on all parts of the Earth. And I would love to see how that would work out. in an HBO Max series, 10 episodes, probably the biggest budget that they probably would ever do. I think that was reported before that this is going to be a big budget DC adventure, and I would totally love to see that, because as I'm actually watching it now, I'm starting to really appreciate the CW for what it is. But I do understand that the limitations of the budget is really low. There's a lot of limitations on that. And so they're not able to produce some really quality content on there. But it's acceptable enough for TV. With HBO Max, there is no doubt they'll be able to do a lot more on HBO Max. Look at Raised by Wolves as an example. That's a sci-fi series. Imagine that with Green Lantern in it, and you can't help but get super excited to seeing this take shape. And how I think would be an awesome, incredible show. Now, the other question is whether or not this is connected to Zack Snyder's Justice League at all. I don't think so. I want to say that because it's Greg Berlanti and, Jim Lee is letting every production and every director choose what they want to connect with. I'm going to say it's probably more in line with the Arrowverse, with especially the people that have been chosen to create this, but is also something that is not going to be fully connected to the Arrowverse. They're definitely taking this elsewhere, right? And since it's on HBO Max, I think they could go to that MA, the mature audiences, in which the tone will probably be more in line with like Doom Patrol or Titans possibly, which would make it a lot more exciting for fans who want a little bit more of that grittiness and not so much of CW. And I think Greg Berlanti utilizing HBO Max could be better potential for him. I think for him being kind of held down by CW youth restrictions, that he not able to explore what he truly wants in a series. I think he's able to do that more with like Doom Patrol and Titans than with the CW like Supergirl or The Flash. I mean, there are some gritty and some, people dying and characters dying within the Arrowverse as well. But I think with HBO Max, he could take that next step in order to explore much more with these characters. Now, this may not be connected to Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't think so. But just like the Gotham City Police Department series, I'm thinking this could actually connect to a potential movie that they're wanting to utilize Hal Jordan. So if you imagine if there is a movie that comes out with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart and Kyle Rayner in the theatrical version, then this would be like a connected tissue to that movie, just like how the Gotham City Police Department series is connected to the Matt Reeves, the Batman movie. So I'm thinking that is how they're going to connect a movie to this HBO Max series. But all in all, I'm pretty excited for this Green Lantern HBO Max series. But let me know what you think about this series. And do you think it's going to connect to Zack Snyder's Justice League, to another movie that's being developed over at Warner Brothers? Or is it going to be its own thing and we'll eventually get introduced to their own Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Kyle Rayner? All right, the next topic, and it's been something that I've been talking for a while now, it's David Ayer's Suicide Squad, right? He never got to show us what he really intended for his Suicide Squad. That movie has been cut up and chopped up and reshot for the sake of the company. Warner Brothers told him to make it lighter, make it funnier, make it more like Deadpool. So he had to compromise for that. So we never got to see his cut. And even more so today, I think he's been very open about that his movie is not the movie that we were supposed to get. So he tweeted this out today in response to a fan who says, I was all for the Snyder Cut, but I can't get behind this cut because the movie we got was the Ayer Cut. Script was rushed and was a mess. Well, he laughed at that, and he said the release film didn't reflect the script, right? And seriously, I guess, but it's okay. Many people have not really, aren't really educated with the Ayer Cut as much as the Snyder Cut. So like I said, I probably will make a video one day in terms of what I've learned so far about the Ayer Cut, so that you know the kind of differences that are out there between this, the Suicide Squad that came out theatrically and the Ayer Cut that David Ayer want us to see. So hopefully we will get to see that one day. I'm guessing even more so now, especially with digital streaming and HBO Max being a big thing. I'm thinking Jason Kilar and people over at HBO Max will probably want to see what else is in Warner Brothers vault they can take advantage of, and put it out on their streaming service. And I'm just gonna say, release the Ayer Cut already. And since we're talking about cuts, we still have that one that's coming out called the Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I hope and I think Zack Snyder will definitely get that official title that he really wants. And I'm really excited to see that in 2021. But, we still have people asking the different cast and crew about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And this one just came out from Collider. Joe Manganiello talks about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm going to play you this clip right now.
Incredibly excited to see the Snyder Cut, because I want to see the extended version of all of Zack's movies are always better. From Watchmen to BVS to you name it, it's always better. Have you seen anything of the Snyder Cut? And I have to ask, are you doing any additional photography for it?
I knew you were gonna ask me this, man, and I knew it.
Well, by the way, I'm asking because I'm a legit fan and I really want to know. And yes,
yeah, I know. And
there's so the fans want to know too.
I know, and they're gonna go crazy, and they're gonna come back at me with whatever I say. So, I can't. That's if I was a part of it, that wouldn't be my. It wouldn't be my place to announce that. That would be Zack's place. So whether or not that's happening, that is an answer that is below my NDA level, or whatever you want to call it.
Real quick though, have you seen any extra stuff? Did Zack ever show you like a longer version, or have you seen any of that?
Well, look, I mean, on my social media, I talked about, there was an original end credit sequence that was altered for the release of Justice League. Once Batman was canceled, they altered that scene. So here you go. I mean, it's but I wrote about that on my social media. There's an original scene that will be restored to its, to what it was originally.
So that was Joe Manganiello talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Of course, there was not much he could tell us other than that the original ending was supposed to set up Ben Affleck's Batman movie. And now that it was altered to not do that because Ben Affleck's Batman was canceled, now the question is, will it be put back in? I think that's the question on all of our minds is, what is Zack Snyder's Justice League now? Because Zack Snyder said himself, this is not the 214. This is different from the 214. He's getting the opportunity to do a new thing with his cut. And so it makes you wonder, what's going to happen at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League? Will it actually have a clue to Ben Affleck's Batman, or we can get to see the original ending that they shot with Joe Manganiello? And if that's the case, then that will probably determine whether or not we'll probably get the Ben Affleck's Batman, either what is it going to be, HBO Max series or movie? I don't know how it's going to be at this point in time. There's no confirmation on that, but if that happens in the series, then maybe it'll give us our first clue, if we don't get a clue until then, that we're going to have Ben Affleck's Batman. But I think if it's the other way around and we don't see this scene and, Zack Snyder decides that, we're not going to get that Ben Affleck Batman, he may take Joe Manganiello, Deathstroke, that original ending out altogether. And for me, I don't think that's the case. He did talk about that there are scenes with Lex Luthor. There was going to be more to do with Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. but I don't know if that would connect to the original, what they're going to do with Ben Affleck's Batman, or just as a lead into Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. So I think that is the most interesting part about this whole conversation, because without that original ending, there is no setup for Ben Affleck's Batman. And I think that will give us the biggest clue next year, if we don't know until then, by then, that we're going to get Ben Affleck's Batman. So hopefully hopefully we do get that scene, and hopefully it is the setup to a potential Ben Affleck's Batman in the near future. All right, well, that is it for tonight and for this week. What an incredible week of DC news and content, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content, of movies, shows, and games, please click the like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.